In this video, I will show you how to place text behind an object. With the techniques of placing text behind an object, you can create the illusion of depth on images and create more professional and attractive visuals. We use this technique when we want to achieve effective and eye-catching results, especially when creating visual content for advertising banners, social media posts, and websites. When you apply this technique to your designs, you can quickly draw the viewer's attention to your designs. In order to get a text behind an object, we need two main files in our Photoshop workspace. One of them is the image and the other is the text. We plan to put the text behind the tent, but it is wrong to do it like this. If you are doing it like this, you will need to learn the right method in a moment, because I will show you a much more professional method. Photoshop beginners first take the eraser key because they call this issue as deletion and delete it this way. You will be left with what you deleted. This is a text, so we can edit it as we want. In the work we will do, this text will remain as text. To place text behind an object, Photoshop requires several steps. Selecting the surrounding of the object, applying masking techniques, and placing the text in accordance with the composition are the most prominent of these steps. First of all, we need to select the object we want to put in front of the text. There are many ways to make a selection in Photoshop. I will show you the fastest of them here because this is not a selection tutorial. You can use Photoshop's select subject feature, or you can select an area and make it selected the object in the area. Look, I selected the area and it allowed me to quickly, not perfectly of course, but it allowed me to quickly make an overall selection. I wanted to select this area with the lasso tool and then click the select and mask button, and we won't have to deal with the bottom side anyway. Actually, the places I need to edit are the upper sides. But let's assume that we make an edit like this. Then I select the new layer with layer mask option and click OK. Look, it created such a mask area. Our original image is behind. Our text is here and this is our tent image with the mask. When you make a choice like this, the right thing is to know how to use the mask so that you can do the retouching more smoothly. For example, here you see some soil images. We can erase these soil images by taking the brush tool. But we definitely don't take the erase tool. With the mask area selected, look, we have two colors in the scene. The mask area also has two colors. The black areas are the invisible areas and the white areas are the visible areas. So if I paint the environment black while this area is selected, see, those areas will become invisible. I need the black area to wipe the soil. By painting it black with the black color, I actually erase the floor. If there are problems here, you can erase these areas again with the black color. If you use the white color, you can move them by pressing X on the keyboard. If you use the white color, you will start to reveal the image by painting this time because the white areas will be visible. The purpose of this mask is that even if you don't have a perfect decoupage, you can go back later and re-edit certain areas. So we have to use this method when we take a text behind an object. Now we are going to do something like this. I'm going to change this to tent. I select both. I make this visible. You can also make the background visible. Select the tent or its background. Select the text by pressing the Ctrl key. I group it with Ctrl G. The G for group. You can open it and look at the content. Then I click on the mask we applied to the tent and drag it over the group folder without unclicking it. What happened in this case? We have moved the mask of the tent to the group. If we remember the details about masking again, we said that the image is visible on the white sides and the image is deleted on the black sides. And we stated that this deletion is not a real deletion, but only a deletion that means hiding. Here, our text remained within the mask boundaries, that is, within the white area. And we need to reverse these colors right now. I select the mask. You can press Ctrl I from the keyboard. See, when I press Ctrl I, the white and black areas will change. If you have any problems with the keyboard shortcut, you can also use the Invert button in the Properties panel. They serve the same purpose. Our aim here is to make the outside of the tent white and the side, that is, the tent black. What does this do? it hides the areas of the text that are inside the tent. And when you do that, you will quickly see that it is behind the tent. I can take the selection tool and select the text and move it around. That will do exactly what we want. The text will be behind the main object. And as you can see, with just one mask, we were able to solve all these operations. If you want to add a second text, I duplicate it with Ctrl J and move it. See, nothing has changed. I still get the result I want. Here we can delete our tent image. It only applies this mask to the text. The background remains as it is. If I make the background invisible from here, the entire background will go. If I make it visible, it will look like it is behind the main object because the texts are not visible in the black areas in the mask due to this mask. I also deleted the text I just created. In this project I used white color and a bold font to make the text stand out. Even if the size of the image is small, the text stands out here. Because it is a bold font, I'm using Gotham Narrow, which I think adds a modern touch and makes the text more readable. It also helps the text we write to look more prominent and attractive behind the object. I will show you one more thing to make this look more realistic and more beautiful, but first, I would like to get your feedback. Which font do you prefer when placing text behind an object, or do you use any other color? Or which font do you think is the most striking font for this type of work? I will wait for that in the comments section. I'm creating a new layer here. Let's set it to create the layer on top. And then I'm going to right click and select Create Clipping Mask. I'm taking the brush tool. In terms of depth, since the text is behind the main object, we can give some shadow to the background, so it will look like it's really behind it. I choose the black color and paint the parts behind the tent with brush. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not doing anything like this, but I painted it like this to show that it was behind it. If you think it's too much, you can reduce the opacity value. You can give the text a complete gradient. You can set it so that it is darker here and lighter towards the top right. These are all methods. See, this is one of the methods. We can say that it adds a little more dimension than just being white. And the nice thing about this method is that you can change the text at the end as you like. And because we created a clipping mask in this effect, it will look like there is a shadow here. Of course, you can improve this as you play. I hope this video has helped you understand how to place text behind an object. If you have any questions on the subject, please ask in the comment section. If today's video was useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Thank you for watching.